exerted on our society at all times. A lot of public figures just give up and become pathetic herd animals. But some of them become a lot more impressive, much deeper and more profound. And speaking of that, Tulsi Gabbard posted this video online today. We saw it. We thought you might want to also. Here it is.
Today's self-proclaimed feminists will not define what a woman is and are unfortunately actively seeking to erase the progress that Title IX has made over the last 50 years by essentially trying to erase women as an entire category of people.
Well, that's right. I mean, that's what's going on underneath the headlines, and so we wanted to ask Tulsi Gabbard more about it. She's a former member of Congress, of course, ran for president, and we're happy to have her tonight. Tulsi Gabbard, thank you so much for coming on. So why did you say this? What was it in response to? And how long have you been thinking about this?
Well, this has been an ongoing issue, Tucker. As you know, I served in Congress for 8 years, and this has been something that's building and growing over time. I introduced legislation, bipartisan legislation, while I was in Congress out of a recognition of this problem, that we have people who claim to be feminists, yet who are exercising the height of hypocrisy by actually trying to erase women as an entire category of people, and doing so by doing things like the Biden administration is doing now in trying to undo Title IX, the legislation that was enacted 50 years ago, out of a recognition of the difference in biological sex between men and women and boys and girls. And so my legislation, very simply called the Protect Women's Sports Act, upheld that original intent of Title IX, ensuring that sports would be maintained with that original intent, with females competing against females, males competing against males. And so the video I posted this morning was part of a podcast interview that I did with one of the nation's top female swimmers, Riley Gaines, who has direct experience of the consequences of what this administration is doing, in that she was forced to compete against a biological male for the national championship, and how basically how she was sidelined in the interest of this fear-filled culture where you've just got to go along to get along, no matter the fact that you're actually denying the existence of objective truth, that you've got a 6'4" male with male parts competing and swimming against women in college and being given the podium and the medal while the women are being sidelined.
It really is a crashing defeat for what we were told feminism was. And I have to wonder, I mean, it's the opposite, as always, of what they claim it is. Do you have any sense of the motive behind this? Why would anyone want to do this?
It's a great question. The people who are propagating this, I'm sure they have their own motives that go actually much deeper than this issue of denying women, denying motherhood, trying to actually change our language so that we actually erase the word woman and mother and sister from our vocabulary. The underlying danger here is the denial of objective truth. And once we, as a society, allow this to occur, that we no longer believe that what is true, then what we're left with is no boundaries, no moral boundaries, and those in power being in a position where they and only they define and tell us what is true and what is false. Exactly. And we end up with pure insanity.
Yes, they're God, in other words, and they define what reality is.
Exactly.
That is so smart. Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard tonight, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tucker.